I am currently living inside of a reality of the consequences from choosing myself wholeheartedly. And it's painful. It's very painful. Um, I want to start out by saying I had a friend for over 10 years, and decided to allow our friendship to evolve into a romantic relationship. And I mean, it was great. It really was. And we decided to migrate together. Um, it was one of the biggest decisions I've ever made in my life. And I felt very comfortable including him in that decision while also making that decision with him. We were in agreement. Again, everything was cool. And I was aware because I'm very familiar with the ebb and flow of life. I've experienced the ebb very young and the flow. And I've learned through survival how to be adaptable in that process. So everybody's different, and I learned very quickly that he did not share that, and I think that's okay. However, I wasn't aware that although people may not have experienced certain things in life, like the ebb and flow, everybody handles their situations differently. And um, what I wasn't aware of is that some people will mistreat you because you can handle that ebb and flow of life better than they can. And that's what I experienced. It was very painful. Um, I it was a huge trigger as well because I had a very high purpose for migrating. Um, Again, I've been through a lot, and I was ready to truly tackle the things that I needed to tackle, to fight my demons, and, just at least try to get to the other side of survival. And I did that. I fucking did it, man. And I'm so proud of myself. I did it while my heart was being broken, not only by me, myself, because of the choice that I made to heal, but because my relationship was dwindling and ending. And I was also going through immense interchanges, which of course reflected in my outer world, and my relationship between my children and myself was changing. It was just, everything was changing. And again, it wasn't easy, but I had to really lay everything out and decide what I was going to choose. And ultimately, I chose myself. I chose myself. And it was hard. It was hard. With me choosing myself, my relationship with my daughter evolved. Um, and it evolved in a way that forced me to have less control, not control, responsibility. And believe it or not, that was painful. I spent a lot of time, quite naturally, being a mother. And during these 3 years of living abroad, my firstborn became an adult. One of the reasons I also migrated was because my daughter was dealing with a lot of mental instability, and I had to save my family. I had to save myself first and foremost, and I knew that if I didn't save myself, I wasn't going to be able to save my child, my children, my lineage. It's very important to me. And I did it. I did it. So, yeah, my role as a mother did a complete 180 in regards to my daughter. And then my son, he and I grew apart, and I was trying to save something that I don't think really needed to be saved. I just needed to accept what was, and even at the moment, what is. Um, when you heal and stop people pleasing and just saying no in places you would say yes and vice versa. Some people that are still in your life, that was in your life prior to you evolving, they don't get to benefit from things that come from you. And that forces a lot of changes to occur. And it's uncomfortable. And in regards to that, like, there's a saying, either they're going to rise and meet you and adapt, adjust, or they'll fall away. And some people, they actually do adjust. It just takes a while, and that adjustment period is shaky. And I feel like that's what's happening with my son and I. I mean, I even have to cultivate a certain type of relationship and boundaries with myself because I'm learning myself as well. So, yeah. Um, I'm living in the consequences of choosing self. And if I had to do it all over again, I would. Would I make some changes? I would. However, it is what it is. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to unlearn, to awaken to myself. And I never knew that I would even ask the universe to allow me to see me as the Creator sees me. That was never even a thought until today, actually. And it's just a testament to how much I've grown. I've accomplished so much. And I'm not talking about tangible things. I'm talking about the intangible, like meeting myself on a daily basis, knowing that if my younger self was in the same room in the presence of me now, she would feel so comfortable. She would probably tell me all the things that she wanted to say so that she can have some relief. And that, I can't ask for nothing more. I'm so proud of myself. Even while my heart breaks, while I mend it together with those gold thin paper and go paint. I'm really proud of myself. I am preparing myself to re-enter society, and it's nerve-wracking because I know what I want, I know what I need, I know myself, and today's society is not built for those things. So I have to cultivate it myself. And I've never done that. But I'm going to do it. I just have to figure it out. I trust that every step I make, I will be met by the universe. And the outcome will be more than I can even conceive. When I tell you there are layers to surrendering, there are layers. Oh my goodness. I have been surrendering every day, multiple times a day. Whatever leaves, I allow it. Whatever is staying, I try to recognize it, use my discernment, and I allow it to stay, or I remove it myself because my peace means everything to me. Since I've aligned with my peace, it's all I have. I realized that the reason why, the higher reason to why my relationship ended, even in the aspect of the friendship, is because where I'm going, and I'm not speaking on like physically, just in a frequency where I'm headed and where I am, even in the present moment. He didn't do the work to come with me. And that's what I was fighting for in the beginning. Because once I reached this country, once I settled in, it didn't take me long, for one, because I manifested this. I thought about it long before I even touched ground. But once I settled in, I began the changes immediately. And some people really do thrive off of your chaos. It sounds really disgusting, but it's true. Before I left New York, things were really chaotic because I was awakening to a lot of things that were repressed, suppressed, hidden, unknown, you name it. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And even before awakening to those aspects of my life, because they were unknown, they were hidden from me, I was living in an illusion. Things were chaotic. And so I was operating at a particular frequency that was a vibrational match to my ex best friend. And yeah, that's the wisdom. That's what I've learned. I was trying to hold on to something from my past because I didn't want the truth to be the truth, that I had to let go of everything. It's like the inner child in me was like, why I have to be the one to not have the friend for years? I see everybody else, they've known their peoples for so many years, since they were in elementary school and high school, college, and things like that. And that was the aspect of me that wanted to fit in, pretty much. But I'm not like that anymore. I was born to not fit in. And I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. I actually love that about myself, that I don't fit in, which is why I've outgrown the country that I'm in. I I'm expanding, and I'm not comfortable here anymore. I didn't even know that this would happen. But I love it. I love it. It has served its purpose. It was like it was like the perfect bed to lie in and sleep and heal, allow my body to heal. My nervous system is so regulated. It's so regulated. And yeah, I've just come to a lot of truths, and I'm okay with it. I really am. Um, I'm excited about my future, more so about the person that I'm becoming and the things that I'm going to create. And yeah, I don't really. I'm a little shy at the moment because, which is another reason why I did a blackout video, because I don't necessarily talk about relationships and like the loss of a relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic, because I hold those things near and dear. There's no bad blood. It's just what is. Unfortunately, my ex shows a lot of disdain towards me, but I don't have that towards him. It's just I had to choose myself. It wasn't working. And it's actually more painful to stay in something that's not working than to leave it. I'd rather deal with the pain of leaving and choosing myself than to stay trapped in something that's not working. And through the negative actions, I would say, or emotions that are sent my way, it teaches me that I made the right decision. You can't take everybody with you. You know, one person can sink the ship just because you know how to get you through the storm. Get everybody through the storm without cracking the boat, sinking the boat. And even if there's a hole in the boat, like you'll patch it up, and maybe you was on the brink of sinking with some sharks around, but you got through it. And some people can't handle that. It's okay. Because I think the old version of me would have at least see, this is the thing. Sometimes people who use your nervous system as a regulator, which is actually energy siphoning, expect for you to be the bigger person. And if you gotta be the bigger person all the time, you don't need to be around people that are so small. And I don't mean that in a, I don't even know. I mean that in a emotional context and mental context. Like, two adults should be able to have a conversation and see if there can be a resolution. And some people have poor conflict resolution. So it requires you to be the bigger person. And that's exhausting. It's so exhausting. And sometimes you gotta surprise people and not be the bigger person. Honestly. And just remove yourself from the chaos. Anyway, yeah, I think the old version of me, no, I know the old version of myself would have tried to at least work on the friendship because I still love him. Like, yo, we were friends. Like, that love doesn't die. We were friends for 10 plus years. This man knew me. We met when I was like 23, 24. That's a lot of growth, you know? And like, yo, when I first met him, I was actually living in my mother's apartment. I was still living in with my mother. I didn't have a place of my own. I was going through it. Like, I became a woman, you know. I matured so much. And the person that I used to be, a lot of people took my energy for granted because I was always the person that would figure it out. And that's a part of people pleasing. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't have the energy to do that anymore for anybody. Not even my children. Which is why the relationships evolved, you know. Sometimes you gotta allow people to experience life when you take a step back or completely remove yourself in order for them to see your worth and your value. And it's not for them necessarily, it's for yourself. I was able to really see myself fully once I just let go of everything. And again, it was not easy. It's a lot of tears. I'm still crying, you know, a lot of tears. Because when I love, I love. The heart doesn't forget. It doesn't forget. The body doesn't forget. And you have to create anew to fill those spaces in which you used to do for other people and be for other people. But anyway, yes. Thank you for listening.